Hey guys, Brooke from Snuggly Fox Designs here. I'm going to show you how to do a chainless starting double crochet. This is what I use in all of my hats. So I have just worsted weight yarn here and an H crochet hook. Now we're going to do the magic circle, which I have a video for in my YouTube videos. So if you need help doing that, then just I will put a link in it in the description below. So we're going to chain 1 and then we're going to do 10 single crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, keep going around, 6, 7, 8, pull my yarn out a little bit more, 9, 10. And then we're going to slip stitch to join. Now I do 10 because it helps keep the top of the hat flat and not pointy. Okay, so we have our 10. Now you can weave in this end right now if you want to, secure it like I do in the other video. But a lot of times I wait till the end because I have to weave in my very last tail anyway, so I just turn the hat inside out and weave them both in at the same time. Just don't forget to do that. Now when you're starting off, sometimes I chain 1 and then do my 2 half double crochets, or you can do it with the chainless starting double crochet. So let's go with our chainless starting double crochet. So we cross over our yarn, insert the hook into our stitch there, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, yarn over and pull through the remaining 2 loops on your hook, and there is 1 chainless starting half double crochet. Now then we want to do another half double crochet in the same stitch, and then we do 2 half double crochets in each stitch around. Now the traditional way to do a chainless starting half double crochet is to actually twist our hook around, but I decided not to do it that way because it's hidden behind our other stitches anyways, so it really doesn't matter what it looks like. So if you see other tutorials for doing it, sometimes they actually rotate the hook around, but I chose not to do that for this one. So you just continue placing 2 double crochets in each stitch around. So when you've made it all the way around, placing 2 double crochets in the last stitch, you're going to come up here, and this is actually the same stitch as your first double crochet, and we're going to put a double crochet in this stitch. Now typically you don't work into that stitch, if you can see it right there, but we're going to work into that stitch right there. So you place your last double crochet right there. Now this is the top of your chainless starting double crochet. So you do not work into that stitch right there. You're going to skip that and you're going to slip stitch to the first double crochet right there. So now you've made a nice little circle. And if you flip it over, you can see that you've skipped the chainless starting double crochet. And as you continue on the rows, you'll actually start to have a little seam on the inside of your hat. But that's okay because it's just on the inside. And it takes it away from being on the outside. Now this little hole, to cover this up, check out my other video. And it will show you how to cover it up. All right, now let's start round 2. You're going to yarn over, insert your hook into the same stitch, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, yarn over and pull through the next 2 loops. So that essentially is just a regular half double crochet, or regular double crochet rather. And then we're going to do another double crochet in the same stitch. So we have 2 double crochets in that stitch, but our first one is actually counted as our chainless starting double crochet. So you're going to double crochet in the next stitch, 2 double crochets in the next stitch, and you're going to keep doing this pattern all the way around. 2, 1. Now if you need a fabulous hat pattern, I will link you to my hat base below. It's actually for a Ninja Turtle hat, so you just do the entire thing in one color and you don't switch it for the different colors that it shows. And sometimes I forget how many I do, so I just check. We got 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So the next one we have is 1. And then when we get to the end of the round, we're going to place our single crochet in the same stitch, our double crochet in the same stitch as we did our chainless starting double crochet. And then we're going to slip stitch to the first double crochet. So we're skipping our chainless, don't forget. and it's going to be hidden on the inside of our hat. And I have made hundreds and hundreds of hats and I found out that this is the best way to get rid of the seam. And once you start doing it, it may be a little bit tricky to figure out what you're doing, but once you get it, it is so easy, and that's just how I do all of them. And I found out that it's the best way to get rid of the seam. So again, that's your last single crochet or double crochet. You're gonna put another one now in the same stitch as your starting one. So here it is. And if you can see, if you were to slip stitch here, not only would you have an extra stitch, so you can just count them, but it wouldn't be a perfect circle. It would be off just a little bit. So if you slip stitch here, you can see, there it is, your perfect circle. And if you flip it over, you can start to see there's a tiny little seam sewing. But again, this is on the inside of our hat, so it doesn't matter. So you continue this pattern and just keep going. Now, let's talk about the rounds that are not our increase rounds. So you do the same thing. So you just make a double crochet, and then instead of making another double crochet here, you do a double crochet in the next stitch, and you go all the way around. And then when you're done, you're going to place your last double crochet right here, just like we did before. And then you're not slip stitching to this one, correct? Because that is your chainless starting double crochet. So you'll be slip stitching to this one right there, because that's your first one. And then it'll make your perfect circle still and your little hat there.